Anna works in a company that is participating in a procurement process financed with IDB resources. Their offer was not selected, and the company does not agree with the executing agency's decision. What can Anna do about it, as well as other bidders who find discrepancies that may affect their interests? The IDB presents the technical guideline for the management of protests presented in procurement processes. What is a protest for the IDB? It is a procedure by which a legal or natural person may present their claims, complaints, objections, or disagreements against any decision, action, or omission. Constitutes non-compliance by the executing agency with the procurement policies and could negatively affect the interests of the complainant in the procurement process. It is important to remember that reports or complaints regarding prohibited practices or environmental issues are not considered protests in this context, and should be directed to the appropriate offices of the bank, namely the Office of Institutional Integrity, OII, in the case of prohibited practices, and the Independent Consultation and Investigation Mechanism, ICIM, for environmental issues. Who can file a protest? Any potential supplier or bidder in a procurement process up until the deadline for submission of the offers or proposals. Suppliers or bidders who have submitted an offer or proposal. What are the circumstances and timelines for filing a protest? A protest is filed against an act or decision made during the procurement of goods, works, consulting, or non-consulting services. There are specific circumstances and deadlines that govern the protest of bidding documents or contract awards. All protests should have the specific information and follow the format indicated in the guideline. Response time of the executing agency. Timely attention to protests or requests for an information meeting is critical, and therefore the executing agency should prioritize the review, analysis, and response. The executing agency must acknowledge receipt and respond to the protest within certain specified timelines. What should the response to the protest contain? A clear and concise description of the protest, including the relevant facts and evidence, and a precise statement of the position adopted by the executing agency with respect to each point of the protest. The executing agency may declare the protest inadmissible when it relates to actions or decisions that are outside of the scope indicated within the circumstances and deadlines, when the protest relates to an aspect that is not contestable or against which a protest cannot be raised, when it is against acts or rules expressly accepted from the moment the participants present their offers and are obligated to act in accordance with the provisions of the bidding documents and the bank's procurement policies, or in the event of protests that are clearly unsubstantiated or unrelated to the bidding documents or the bank's procurement policies. If the grounds for the protests are substantiated and upheld, the executing agency must take the necessary steps and make the modifications that correspond to each circumstance. The complainant may be dissatisfied with the response provided by the executing agency, and in those cases can make use of the resources established in the bank's procurement policies. Additionally, bidders may file legal actions as provided for in local legislation. It is important to remember that the responsibility for the review and response to each protest rests with the executing agency. This video is for information purposes only. For details, it is recommended to carefully read the guideline and its annexes.